Hey everybody, this is the daily update for Friday, May 15th. Hope everybody's doing well at the end of this week of biology and other things. Let's see. Again, there's not too much for today. We've kind of gone to that model of, you guys know what's going on, and there's not that much of it, so there's a lot of days where it's like, well, you're working on anything old. Let's see. There wasn't a question yesterday, so don't have to provide an answer, but there is a question today, so make sure you answer it. Please answer it today so that you can show that you are paying attention, yes. And if you've answered one of those or done another thing like that, then that lets me mark you as engaged. And on Saturday, I go through and check the, daily questions. And if you've answered all 3 of them for the week, you get all the points for that, whatever those points happen to be. So just make sure you've answered that by Saturday for those full points. And, oh man, there was something that was in my head. I'm grading the Flipgrids. It's taking me a little while because those are admittedly, they involve a fair bit of thinking to grade compared to some other things. And I can't listen to stuff while I do them because there's hearing involved. And admittedly, a lot of you kind of took that assignment and did some unusual things with it, which is fine. But it was largely an assignment that's like, tell us an example of cool biotechnology and throw in some details. And a lot of people kind of went heavy on the details, and that's mainly what they talked about. And then they were like, oh, also, here's my example really quick, goodbye. And I was like, so trying to tell people, okay, here's what you'll want to change if you do that again. It's just good for them to know if they do something like that in the future. Not that it affects their points hugely, because it was like, well, you did a ton of details, and you might have talked about stuff that's like they might have gone into more detail than they had necessarily researched, and that can cause a problem because you're talking about stuff that you didn't really find out about, and so you're kind of going beyond your knowledge a bit, and that can be a little dicey. But generally they're great. I just have to think through the feedback, so that's kind of fun. The only thing to know really is that Monday we'll be having that meeting. It's going to be a voluntary meeting, one of those question sessions kind of thing. Come Monday at either 12 a.m. or 3 p.m. I don't know if a.m. is right because 12 noon or 3 p.m. You don't have to come. There's going to be a recorded version up. You can take a look at that. And yeah, come to that if you can. If you can't, take a look at the recorded version. If you have a question you want answered, because it's basically going to be a question session and a check-in and, how are people doing? Maybe I'll think of 1 or 2 things to ask you guys, but not much. So it'll be like that. Gosh, my brain. What am I thinking of? Oh, right. If you have something that you would like to ask about or to say for that, then, and you can't make it to the meeting itself, then put it in like the class comments below, where it has the daily update in Classroom. Just put it in the class comments. Or send it directly to me, and I'll be like, let me make sure to address this in the one that gets recorded, and then that way you'll be able to see it. I'm sure people have questions about, like, how do I raise my grade, when is the work done, and stuff, and a lot of you know the answers to some of those, but always good to be available to ask. I want to say that the next actual assignment is coming on Monday. I'm not entirely sure of whether it's Monday or the next day, but there's a notes that's going to come out. I haven't filmed it yet, but yeah, that'll come out on either that day or the next day, and then you'll be down to only 3 more assignments. So, you're all good. That's all I've got. Have fun, and have a great weekend, and hopefully your other classes are also kind of slowing down so that you can, finish old stuff. I hope that in between working on the current stuff, like the little article, you do take a look at the old stuff if you need to, because, yeah, it's good. All right, have fun. Bye.